100. Can he maintain that unbeaten run over the course of the Indonesian round this weekend? Lights out on race 1 of 4 at the Mandalika International Circuit. And the immediate fast start is with Daniel Sharil, the pole sitter. Will watch out for Furusato, the number 15, cutting his way to try and claim the racing line in towards turn number 1, but he's going to get squeezed up there between two bikes. Another tries to come round him. He jostles for position. Sharil, who leads the way, very tight as you'd expect among that lead group. Just a second covering the top 10 riders, and a faller towards the second half of the group as they make their way through. And that's always one of those perils. It's going to be a first non-scoring race of the season for him. 5th in the series standings. He was also 5th position on the grid. Incident, this time we get to see it, and it's exactly as I suggested, a bit of bumping and boring there in towards turn 10. Yeah, and it looks like he just might have gotten a bit of a punt from behind and helped into that exit, but for Hamada it's not going to make too much difference. He knows he's down and out, and there, and it's Hongo, who was the race leader at the start of the previous sector, who's missed out there. I think missed the corner completely, frankly, just went to the outside line. Of course, the last 2 years has meant that it's been a fairly curtailed start to his international career, but good to see him able to get out here in the Asia Talent Cup for a full season and learn from the Saturday afternoon and Sunday. So 50 is about the marker that Furusato will be aiming for at the end of tomorrow morning's race, when he could well take control, take the trophy in the Asia Talent Cup. You can see Carter Thompson there on the number 6 trying to get down the inside. This is what's interesting in the final couple of corners. You can see there one of the other riders just running well right wide there. There is going to be a number of lines you can try and attack down into these last couple of corners. I think whenever we look at the Superbike races later in the week, it's going to be a real case of that could be one of the key block passing opportunities. The Asia Talent Cup bikes, obviously very different kettle of fish, but you're going to see a lot of moves made into that section of the track, just trying to force the move almost at the front of the field. First up there with him, his previous best finish in the Asia Talent Cup, a 7th place in Qatar 2020, and 2 9th positions in 2021. Yeah, we're just seeing that number 5 is the rider on the move in this. That's Miai as well down there as well, and he's finisher in race 1 of the Qatar Grand Prix and also race 1 of the Doha Grand Prix. The 15-year-old currently 5th position in this race, and the group beginning to fracture now, or the groups beginning to fracture, as you can see. We've got 6 riders at the head of the field, all separated by a second. Then we've got 2 riders rather isolated, 7/10 of a second back, including Deo, who we picked up from 9th position down. Is a completely separate race. Best part of 5 seconds, in fact now 5.5 seconds from 9th position down. They're all setting personal best laps to try and make back loss at lap number 4. Yeah, it looks gets down at turn 7 just before you come to those fast right-left sequence in the middle of the lap, but at the front of the field we're seeing Furusato still coming under pressure from Daniel Sharil, but Sharil hasn't gotten close enough to try and make an attack on him at this stage. Yes, we saw the top than Sharil, a few tenths of a second faster than Furusato, who is still your race leader, who is making ground in the middle sectors of the lap. Bit of a lead, he was able to close right up on them. As we can see here, Azrian Deo, who we noticed running wide earlier on from the lead group, so it's a separate fight this for 7th position, and we have seen Herjan Ferdaus defending that P7 throughout this race. Frankly, Deo's been on his tail for the last couple of laps around. We completed 48 points, might be about to gain a position here because we've seen Thompson running wide. Hongo moves in front of him into 4th position. Sharil with an opportunity. This is where we find out what Daniel Sharil is able to do without that toe from Furusato, because if he gets in front of the 2 riders directly in his path here, he's going to have something like a second to cover to 3rd position. Yeah, still going to have a bit of ground to make up in that position, and that looks like well, another rider's gone down. It looks like it's down at turn 10, and we've seen a bit of action down there all the way through the running so far. I think that's to Timon, who has gone down on lap 8 of 16. So the Thai rider who was on the fringes of the points, who was in that 5-way battle, and we're going to see the incident perhaps here, and it's going to be 2 riders involved. That's a straightforward situation of Timon, who has gone down and collected Turaki Buapa, I think that is, who was alongside him, and he has now remounted to continue on in the race, but clearly out of contention when you're in a pack race like that one. And that group has now become a 6-rider group instead of the 8 or so who were all involved. Yeah, it is starting to split up a little bit, and the reason for that is you've got to try and make those attacks, and you can see there for both of those riders on the run down into 10. For Buapa, he was at least able to get himself remounted, get back out there, but for Tom Timon,